knowing a lot of the players involved in this as well as you do, what is your sense of where it stands right this minute?
Yeah, Greeny, there's been 2 seasons in the history of the NFL where a quarterback has thrown for more than 4,000 yards and less than 5 interceptions. Those 2 seasons were both had by Aaron Rodgers, and they are the 2 seasons directly before the Packers chose Jordan Love. You see, a little bit over a year ago, the Packers viewed Aaron Rodgers as like a declining player, a player that's on the back half of his career, the back end of his career, maybe a bridge quarterback. And then they selected Jordan Love. And then Aaron Rodgers said, hold up, I'm the MVP of the league. And the reality is you can't have both of those things at the same time. I heard Andrew Brandt say that. Aaron Rodgers can't be the bridge quarterback and then also be the MVP. It doesn't happen like that. And all that's happening right now is the Packers made a decision a year ago. And instead of it happening 3 years from now, Aaron Rodgers is bringing that decision right to the present time. And it's going to become a game of choosing sides. Who's going to win, the general manager or the quarterback?
That's not a game that most general managers are equipped to play when the quarterback is this level of star, Domonique. Pick up the thought from there.
Yeah, I think that Aaron Rodgers is so valuable that you kind of have to treat players like that like partners. And we see it happen in the NBA a lot. We don't see it happen in the NFL very often because most of the players, frankly, are not that valuable. You can draft a center behind your center. You can cut a future Hall of Fame linebacker and people won't care. But the MVP quarterback, possibly one of the best, or not possibly, one of the best we've ever seen, coming off one of the best seasons we've ever seen, getting you on the doorstep of the Super Bowl in consecutive seasons, like, that's a different guy. That's not a guy that you can just treat as if he's a regular player. He has to be treated like a partner, especially when he's a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who seems to be, by all accounts, a very kind of emotional and sensitive guy, which is not a criticism of him. He's earned the right to do that in any way that he wants to. So if someone drafted a corner over me, which has happened before, I can't do nothing about that because I'm just me. But Aaron Rodgers is something special. He's a little different.
So, Mel, when all this was breaking, you and I were sitting next to each other in Cleveland, sort of with our jaws agape, could not believe it was happening. Now that you've had a little time to digest it, what is your big picture look at the way things are going right now? Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, and the Packers.
I'm with Neek. I think if you're so resolute and so committed to Aaron Rodgers now, and you're making those statements after Aaron Rodgers says, I want out of here, I'm not playing another game, why did this happen now? Why didn't this not happen a long time ago? So Aaron knew where he stood, how committed they are to him, how they feel about him. Yeah, we drafted Jordan Love, but we had to. We need that quarterback down the line. It's way down the line. We did it with you, Aaron. We drafted you when we had Brett Favre, and you waited until that year 4. You sat for 3 years. We also drafted Brian Brom while Brett Favre was our quarterback before you were ready. It's just communication. It's like any business that you're in. If you got somebody that's your star and you're an elite performer, and Aaron Rodgers is that guy, still to this day he is one of the best in the NFL, if not the best quarterback. How are you allowing this to be so bad that he has to say, I want out and I'm never playing for you, when he's going to be a Hall of Famer and he's always going to be known as a Green Bay Packer? That's the organization. They are wrong. They are the problem here. And now they're coming out and saying that Aaron Rodgers is great and we're resolute and committed. Too little, too late is my opinion.
Listen, I'm with you. And Domonique, I'm disappointed in you and me together, because we are usually the first ones to overreact to things. But in retrospect, when Rodgers says on Pat McAfee's show, I threw a monkey wrench in their plans by playing so well, we should have pounced at that moment, you and I, Domonique, and said, he's never playing there again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm disappointed in us attempting to be responsible journalists at that time when we know that we just want to light the world on fire. So I'm with you, Greeny. We let it down. So that's why now we need to overreact. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get traded before the start of the season. How about that, Greeny? Are you on board with that?
I mean, I think that's what he wants. Orlovsky, I mean, let me give you the final word on this. And again, we have tons to say about this today. Dan Orlovsky, is that what you believe Rodgers wants at this point? He has pushed it to a point now where it appears that's what he's looking for. So how does it go from here in your view, Orlovsky?
I have felt since the moment this news broke that he was done in Green Bay. This is Aaron Rodgers, okay? If he did not want this information to get out in the way it got out, it would not have gotten out, all right? And understanding that once it's out there, everybody knows. And the Green Bay Packers fans, who are as awesome as we have in the league, they're emotional as well. And they feel a tie to Aaron Rodgers as well. And he knows once that gets out, people are going to turn. There's going to be some people that turn because that's what fans do.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.